radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like a free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And if you have a pencil or pen, or actually pen is okay too. I did a big piece of paper out because I am really excited about having our magazine, Bright Side of Aging. The magazine, as you may know, has been around for quite a while. We haven't printed any issues because of, as they say, technical issues. And one of the nice things about my being able to get on the air is to alert you as to what talented people that are around us. And I also want you to write down the toll-free number, 888-489-80, when I'm off the air. And if you have any comments and you're a senior in need of any care, in-home, or possibly renovating your home, our program is devoted to helping you indeed enjoy as they say, the golden years. I'm a pharmacist, so I've had the opportunity to fill prescriptions for thousands of seniors over the years, and the truth of it is that as bright as you want to be as you age, it's amazing how gravity and age has a definite negative effect on you as well. But that doesn't mean that you get devastated by it. And the reason I gave you my toll-free number, which I hope you hang on to or share with a friend that's, as I say, not old, but seasoned, I can help in terms of both medical and non-medical services. And I've had the privilege of helping a lot of seniors, and I'm reaching out to you to let you know that especially now with the Medicare deadline coming up, boy, do I hate that word deadline. I mean, how about it's going to be an interim date before the next time that it starts again. Till December 15th, you should talk to a professional who knows about what new changes there are and some of the things that you may have that you're not aware of. I'm very pleased because of the magazine and the radio show, and in being in the healthcare field, I have over 10 specialists know the ins and outs of Medicare. Our government has a strange way of conveying information. They specialize in confusion. I have often philosophized that isn't it amazing? Our entire society, somehow, if you're religious at all, is able, if you're a decent human being, to really live life with just 10 commandments. 10, not thousands of pages. And I encourage you strongly that as you age, you take advantage of professionals around you that will give you the information you need. So please hang on to the toll-free number, 888-489-8980. You can speak to me directly by just pressing number 1 if I'm not on the phone already. While we're on the air for the next hour, if you want to call in on our show, it's 248-557-3300. That's while we're on the air for the next hour. 248-557-3300. And if you have a comment or a question pending on our conversation, I'd love to hear from you because, quite frankly, we try to make this interactive. But a lot of people are very reluctant to get on the air. And if you are, call our toll-free number, and I can speak to you perhaps off the air or announce what you wanted to say. Excuse me. I'm really excited about having the former editor of our magazine, American Senior Gazette, who was John Zwankowski. Wow. Should I say Zwankowski, John, or is Zwankowski okay?
If you pronounce it in straight Polish, you could hurt yourself. You gotta be careful.
Well, as you can appreciate, John's got a phenomenal personality. He does one-man shows, and I just said right before Easter, John, you are planning on doing your one-man show?
Yeah, sure. Well, I have two of them. Yeah, sure. One of them is called, I'm Catholic, so it's an evening with Simon Peter, and I relive for people the passion, death, and then, of course, you got to leave on the resurrection, or everybody commits suicide after the program. So I end with that one, and then in Christmas time I do an evening with St. Joseph, the foster father of Jesus. So I tell the nativity story from the Gospels of Matthew and Luke. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I kind of get people to laugh a little bit, to kind of move them emotionally, and then that's all. I do it for a free will offering for whatever church will invite me in, and I've been doing it for 30 years, and I just really enjoy it. So anyway,
did you hear that, folks? If you are part of a church, John is willing to come out and actually really revitalize the Bible, so to speak. I've had the privilege of seeing him in action, so to speak. He is fantastic, and if you will be open to it, I can't think of a more worthwhile cause to get the congregation that you belong to together and actually get a different perspective about religion. And because of his talent, he has a way of conveying our message from the Bible in a fun, entertaining, and also really stimulating way.
Well, thanks, Ike. That's kind of nice. I should tell people too that I've paid several $1,000s for royalty-free music for this stuff, and so if I can't carry it, sometimes the music can. And for the last, I kind of struggled in the first couple of years, but people were very polite. They're very Christian, Anyway, but now I seem to get standing ovations everywhere I go. But I'm still not sure if it's because after 90 minutes they have to go to the bathroom, so they got to get up, or they're happy I'm done, so they want to get out of there. I don't know.
Well, maybe they're multitasking.
That must be it. Yeah. Anyway.
So if you're interested in having him speak to you, or just call him, he's a really interesting individual. He's author of The Inimitable Wisdom of Grandmas and Grandpas, which I'm really delighted to promote, and that title is The Inimitable Wisdom of Grandmas and Grandpas. Can you give us a little taste of some of the stuff in that?
Sure. The subtitle of that book is A Whimsical Look at Life Through the Squinty Eyes of the Sunset Years. And I think you just like the book because you're on the cover. So I took a picture.
I wanted to surprise them with that.
Well, I just expanded on and a lot of the editorials that I would put into the American Senior Gazette when I was your editor, So I really enjoyed that, and now I think we're talking about resurrecting that as well. Oh, resurrecting, sorry, that's a Christian thing.
No, that's okay. That's universal. Resurrection is rare.
But, and I'm 72, and that kind of stuff keeps, I'm delighted to be on a program for the bright side of aging. I was reading the other day where there are statistics show that more people die who are retired than those who are working. That's incredible, Well, never mind. Some people, they grow old, they retire, and then they die. Not always on the same day, but they're usually pretty close together, So, and we've got to do so much more than just, I was talking to a guy the other day. He was talking about all his, he spent time on the beach, he took a cruise, and I said, when you talk about your retirement years, you really ought to lie and make it more exciting. Nobody wants to hear about how great your afternoon nap was, And you're a living example of that, Ike. You keep yourself going, for God's sake. So you and I have the same birthday, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We do.
October 7th.
That's right, same day. You're a few years older than I am, but I'm catching up to you rapidly, So, but I think you keep yourself active, and I like to think I do the same thing, crying out loud. So
yes.
You talked about the 4 phases. What were the?
Yeah, actually I heard a great interview. Ted's Hour is a phenomenal type of program, and I have nothing to do with it. I wish I did, because it's very successful. they have different topics, and they were discussing that there are really 4 stages in retirement. First stage is you're all excited that you're now able to travel and do stuff, play golf and all the sports you might be involved with.
Yeah, that can last as long as about a week. I think. That's a great phrase right there. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the points that was made. In most cases, it usually lasts about a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Then suddenly, after the first year ends, people realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm not working anymore. I don't have a title. I really don't have any reason to wake up at a particular... I don't even have to wake up. I mean, what am I going to do once I wake up? And that is sort of a jolt when you analyze it.
Oh, when I was in home health care, I came into a senior's home. I was in the spiritual care team. And the guy, as soon as I walked in, he goes, "John, it's amazing." I said, "This is a great day." I said, "Well, great. Why is that?" He says, "Because he won the car. The guy, he won the car on The Price is Right." And I thought, my gosh, if that's all you have to live for, you need a lot more than spiritual care for me, you know. Right out loud.
Yeah, well, the point is that you can actually, if you're creative, and I'm really pleased, and perhaps maybe you might want to join me, the first Wednesday of each month, a semi-retired fellow pharmacist, Jerry Gilfix, and I conduct a friends group over at the Caustic Senior Center right at 11 Mile in Middlebelt. It's free to attend. We get together people that want to reconnect, especially with that horrible condition that we've had. We're still not out of the woods with the virus and all. People suddenly realize how valuable human being to human being connection is. And it's interesting how it goes. Because of the virus, suddenly people have realized how valuable being connected with other seniors. So if you're a senior out there, I'd be more than happy to help you coordinate a friends group at your church or organization where you just get together on a routine basis. We do it only once a month, but no one holds back on actually having a coffee class, so to speak, every morning. In fact, I do that with our group. I belong to the Optimist Club and the Rotary Club, which I strongly encourage you to get involved. So in terms of the 4 stages, once you've sort of gotten frustrated, hey, I've done all the traveling I want, join up with a service organization or start some sort of a discussion group. One of the positive things that has happened because of the virus is suddenly Zoom meetings have become very popular. If you can't physically get out, then why not connect via phone, or better yet, do a hybrid. Have people that can show up at the event, be there in person, and maintain a phone connection with people that want to be part of the group but can't. But and then the third stage is you do want to join up with a formal type organization, like the Kiwanis Club, the Rotary Club, Optimist Club. If you're interested in getting involved in that way, by all means, call me when I'm off the air, 888-489-8980. And while we're on the air and you want to pipe in on some thoughts of what you are doing, if you've retired, that you found that really sort of gave you not a retirement, but a refirement, okay? So get refired. While we're on the air, 248-557-3300. And I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I want to tell you about a very talented individual, John Zwonkowski. That's the American way. John Zwonkowski is the Polish way.
For sure, yeah.
So now I've covered both languages.
Well, and I think the stuff you're talking about, Ike, is just maintaining people connections, I saw an article a couple of days ago that not only senior citizens, but kids playing video games and being online all the time, the increase in suicide and depression. I had a physical maybe a week ago with a regular doctor, and they have all these questions about, are you depressed? I said, I look depressed. What, something to see I don't see? And they said, no, we just have a lot of depression, mostly younger people, and we've had suicide watches now. And it's because people have not been connected, partly because of COVID, but partly because there's so much interaction online and nothing personal. But like you say, Zoom has been a tremendous help. I've connected with people I went to grade school with on Zoom in the last year or so, and it's been kind of neat.
Right. Cool. It's great.
But you just got to have purpose. You got to have purpose in people. So, anyway.
Well, most situations, I'm fortunate enough, one of the blessings I do have is that I enjoy humor. In fact, there's an association, you talk about organizations. We meet by phone, Zoom meetings, the first Monday of every month at 7 o'clock. It's a Zoom meeting. It's the American Association for Therapeutic Humor. And we share different thoughts in a lighthearted way. And we tell stories to one another. And one of the ones that was told the other night on the Monday was about these three guys get together every morning for a cup of coffee and to enjoy each other's company and talk about different things. And one day, one of the people says, I hate to make this too serious, but we all know we're going to die. Have you ever wondered what or thought about you'd like to have someone say when they walk by your coffin? First one says, wow, that's a heavy-duty topic. Well, I'd like to have someone possibly say, he was the most educated guy I knew. Whenever I got stuck with any issue, I'd call him and he'd usually have an answer. Second guy said, what I'd like to hear someone say is that I was the most enthusiastic, upbeat person they knew. Whenever they were down and out and sort of depressed, they'd call me and I would cheer them up. Third guy says, what I'd really like to hear someone say? What's that? I'd like to hear someone say, look, I think he's moving.
Jeez.
So keep on moving, and we're going to move into a brief break, and we'll be right back, and we'll wrap it up with some other thoughts on the bright side of aging. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. One of my sponsors is Cofix Nasal Spray. You can spray the inside of your nose and almost have the same benefits as a mask. In fact, it's been so well proven that it's now on the market in drugstores. Cofix RX. Spray it in the nose. 45 seconds later, you have up to 8 hours like a shield inside your nose. It's been scientifically proven. I'm really excited about it. I use it anytime I go out in a huge crowd. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980. 888-489-8980. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. And we're back, and I hope you're part of our first segment, or hopefully the whole segment. I'm really excited about having our former editor, John Dwinkowski from the American Senior Gazette, and also Bright Side of Aging. John Dwinkowski is author of 7 books and actually 3 plays. He's past director of marketing for the largest home health care company in Michigan, and you are a theater actor for Scripture on Stage for the last 30 years. Are you tired yet?
I'm exhausted. Yeah, I could barely get out of bed this morning to come to the radio station. Yes, incredible. Yeah. But it's the same thing when you retire. I mean, it's so. At least when I retired, I'm 72 when I retired. I retired at 66, and I thought, great, now I can go into high gear for crying out loud. I have some purpose. I could expand these things. I've written actually 30 plays. 3 of them since I've been retired, and I finished a book this last year that's it's a little bit long, 349 pages, 50 chapters. I got to get back. It'll cut it down to. My son said, Dad, I think you got to take a lot of it out. So it'll be about a 30-page book when I'm done. But even so, it's just exciting to do that, and you got purpose. And I really think, if you're doing something that makes the world a better place. And I used to I was teaching religious ed for 50 years. I tell the kids, if you're just make the world a better place, that's all God's asking you to do. Maybe that means you're going to help somebody cross the street, okay, but maybe it means you're going to pick up a piece of paper in front of a store and put it in a garbage can. That makes the world a better place. It doesn't have to be anything great, but when you get out of bed in the morning, now you've got purpose and you're helping somebody. If you're not living for somebody else, you're probably dying. Whether it's your kids or your grandkids or your neighbor or whoever. Anybody you see it on a bus, on the train, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. So anyway.
I know. Actually, like I mentioned before, I'd love to put you in touch with some of these organizations that you might want to do one of your plays, and what I really respect you for is that you don't charge, except you obviously would appreciate some sort of a goodwill donation. So if you belong to a church or an organization and you want to look at life in a positive way, John Dwinkowski can help you and share some of the great experiences he's had. And
I should say, Lou, I also that, sure, it cost me about $400 to do a presentation. But so far, knock on wood, God's been good. I've always been able to cover my costs. And sometimes only barely, sometimes in some abundance. That's great. I'll take whatever. If I get a little bit more, then I can invest a little bit more in better stage lighting or sound equipment or props and stuff. And it makes it for a better presentation. And I don't do it so much for the money. It's because I think it helps people. It moves them a little bit,
You practice, as they say, what you preach, which is wonderful and is very rare. And we're talking about some of the things that you might want to consider as when you're retired and you get up in the morning and you really don't have a job to go to. Why not consider developing some talents that you have? Isn't that a good suggestion?
Oh, yeah. And just to keep the mind stimulated, to kind of hold off the Alzheimer's and all that. I mean, some people pick up an instrument. They just learn to play a guitar, or they learn how to play the piano, or I've been practicing the triangle now for a year and a half, and I'm getting pretty good at it, you know what I'm saying?
You're getting to the third angle, are you?
Yeah. or they pick up a new language. You know, I speak Spanish. I've been doing that for a long time, but I'm Polish. I don't know a word of Polish. I can stand to learn Polish.
There you go.
Or some people, they learn how to do writing, or they pick up a skill, they get into carpentry, they do crafts. Well, I think I had a fella who was 73, and he was trying to learn magic. I said, oh, it's great. Anyway, a lot of things like that.
And speaking of magic, we have to cut our magic off because we're run out of time, and I'd love to have you back to pick up on that very theme, because I think it's so important that you have some sort of activity that you can look forward to when you retire. Right now, I only have enough time to share my favorite parting thought for the bright side of aging, which is: yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with a bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because, as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others, because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome. If you are now sort of planning for the new year, which is now right around the corner. In fact, we're almost in the middle of the street with it. Anyway, this is a great time for us to connect as we repeat our toll-free number, 888-489-80. If you are considering, as they do say, doing a side hustle, so to speak. The key is that if you are looking to develop your own business, you want to make sure you can pay your current bills. And what I recommend, having been in business myself for years, and proud owner of over 10 drugstores, and I brought in partnership arrangements which really helped me run the stores and all. And we also got involved in different ventures. And one exciting thing about our country is that if you can identify what you really have a passion for, we can help you turn it into hopefully a profitable business for you. But the first thing that you have to realize or decide on is a 4-letter word called want. What do you really want? Many people, unfortunately, many times are not happy with what they have, but they have not identified what they really want. We can help you in that direction. We've got super talented people around us, accountants, also attorneys, and business coaches that would be delighted to talk to you. If you wish to call our toll-free number, 888-489-80. We have sort of a self-assessment form, and it's just a one-pager, and identifies where you're at, and hopefully you can really sort of drill down to what you want to do, and we can make it happen for you. I'm really excited about having our former editor of the American Senior Gazette is sort of doing freelancing for us, John Zwinkowski. Pronounced that almost right.
Yeah, that's rare for that. So it's nice to
hear. And I'm flattered that he wrote a book on the inimitable wisdom of grandmas and grandpas. It's a phenomenal Christmas gift if you want to share it with either seniors or about to be seniors. Call us on our toll-free number, 888-489-80. It's a great read. They're little vignettes, aren't they, John?
They are, and don't restrict it, Ike. It's not just a good Christmas gift. It would be an awesome Hanukkah gift as well. You know? I'm Catholic, you're Jewish. Okay.
Right. We're anyway, multicultural here.
Yeah. It's a good bathroom read. You can read you can start any chapter that you want. You know, it doesn't matter.
Right. And it is really, sort of searching the person's mind and expressing thoughts that you may not have been able to put into words. And you're a gifted writer, and I'm so pleased that we're able to work together. And
well, thank you. I mean, but I think a lot of the book, comes from my work with you with the American Senior Gazette and all the people that you've introduced me to through the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. A lot of the stories came from there. A lot of the wisdom came from there. So and some of the stories they're a little bit heavy, but some of the chapters are pretty lighthearted. I mean, the chapter on sex, the one on marriage. I think those are you might want to tongue in cheek those, but when you're talking about grandkids and things we can do with our grandkids to have fun with them. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of good stuff there. Some of the people I've met, so people that have purpose in their life. It's really neat.
Yeah, well, that's so important to identify the purpose of what you'd like to have done, and you also have had an extensive background in marketing, so you can share some of your thoughts as well in that arena, and you're almost, as they like to say, you're almost famous as a theater actor. So
yeah. My wife thinks I'm pretty. She knows my name and everything. It's great. So anyway, but a lot of it's we talked about this before we went on the air about the internet, and talk about factories being a great way to make a living. Retail stores like you, a great way to make a living. but also the internet now is probably there's just the neatest, best money-making invention that's come along since the dawn of factories in the early 20th century, for crying out loud. I mean, and COVID, one, of course, it has its downsides, death and stuff, but it also amplified people working from home. And it also amplified the creativity that it takes to work from home. I've got two neighbors that both higher up in Ford Motor Company. One is in finance, one's in engineering designs for the engines to accommodate the environmental regulations. And they both, they said, no, we used to have to get special permission to work from home for a day or two. Now we have to get special permission to come into the office. They both work out of their home, which is great. They got a little daughter, so they're happy about that, you know. But they have to be very creative to do that. So anyway, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, right. No, well, actually, we have a couple of people in our members of our Entrepreneurs Network group that can help you really make some tremendous strides if you want to do marketing in a digital type way. And the truth of it is that when you analyze it, the wonderful thing about technology that we have today, you don't have to have a physical store. You can reach the whole world from your basement if you so choose, once you've identified what you'd like to do, and you not only can share your talents, let's say, as if you want to do mechanics on the internet. And then there's, of course, the Google Analytics, where that helps you as well, does it not?
Oh, it does. I mean, if somebody had, where did I come across this example? They said if you wanted to find out the best way to train your pet, your pet dog, well then let's Google that and see. Okay, and they came up with something like 37 million different sites that will tell you how to train your dog. And they said, well, you got to specify it. Do you want to let's train Rottweilers, because they're a little bit difficult. So let's train them. Okay, so let's look at that. And they found, now we're down to only 9 million hits on how to train Rottweilers. But what Google does with analytics is, when you click on that, you're not going to get all 9 million. You're going to get them ranked. The one that's the most popular, that people go to the most, is going to come up first. Why? Maybe because they paid for it. Well, you'll see. Here's 3 that paid for this ad, but right below that are the ones that get the most hits, are most popular. So if you produce quality work online, you have a much better chance of doing well. I wrote an article, talk about making money online, about 3 weeks ago. I wrote what's called a case study for a woman who was directing a museum in the Washington Crossing, the Delaware. It's a museum there. So she was directing that. She said, well, when the 2008 recession hit, the bottom fell out of the funding. There was no job. I was laid off. Everything was closed. So I had to find something else to do. She said, well, I was doing all the writing, marketing anyway, so I thought, well, maybe I could join. She joined this group, American Writers and Artists Institute. I happen to be a member of them as well. So I interviewed her, wrote her story up. How did she go from that? She said, I didn't like it. I was in Pennsylvania. It's cold. I'm in the rush hour traffic. And all of a sudden, what I really wanted to do was live on a beach somewhere. Well, 2 years later, she's living on a beach just outside of Cancun, Mexico. She said, I'm a 15-minute walk, and I'm now making 3 times what I used to make. She said, I'm in 6 figures. I said, okay, why is that? Well, because I learned how to do copywriting, so I write for various companies. I never see them. I don't go there, but I'll do a newsletter for one company. I'll do a blog for some other company. And she said, I make more than 6 figures every year, and I don't even own a car because I don't need one. She said, I just walk wherever I need to go in Mexico. Holy cow, you know. So, and believe it or not, they paid me. I wrote that thing up. It probably, in the interview and writing, took me all about 8 hours altogether, the whole thing. The company paid me $1,500 for doing that. I don't make $1,500 a day, you know. I said, do you need any more of these things done? But you know, the one, I looked at one, there's a guy named, he calls himself Mr. Beast. Jimmy Donaldson's his name, and he does YouTube videos. And that guy, last year, that guy made $54 million doing YouTube videos.
Wow.
And I said, really? So I looked at one of his videos, and he's got 3 guys with him, and they wanted to go through all this. Say, we're going to find the cheapest hotel in the world, and we're going to stay there. Then we're going to find the most expensive. So they went to some place in Bangladesh, and they paid $1 a night to rent this hotel. It was a mat that you sleep on. It was in the middle of a hallway, and there were 20 other mats. And he's lying there with this YouTube video, and all 4 guys are lying there. They said, we're on this mat. They said, well, where's room service? Well, what do you expect for $1? You know, but then at the end, he goes into a bus that he pays $50 a night for, and he shoots a video, and he's funny. He talks about the Then at the end, he goes into this castle someplace in Europe for $1 million a night. And he drives horses through the castle, and they have all these amenities. They can drive Porsches, you know. They have and this guy. But he said, "Well, I make enough money that I can afford to pay this $1 million, so I can do a video for you." I said, boy, I'm in the wrong business. Holy cow. It's incredible what people do affiliate marketing, and it's kind of reversing now. If you do quality stuff, writing or videos or sound, I've recorded 25 audiobooks for Audible, Well, I'm usually make anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 when I record those. It takes me a while to do it, but my gosh, I enjoy the heck out of it, and I get to pick good books that I don't have to do the crazy stuff, So, but I enjoy that, and it's not too bad making a living, and I enjoy what I do.
Well, the thing is you hit the magic thought at which I try to remind people about, that if once you decide what you want to do, and it's something that you really enjoy doing, you'll never work a day in your life, and you'll also enjoy life in a profitable way. And actually, they always, depending on how you use it, they talk about how money is such an evil thing, and truth of it is, money is not evil, is that some people unfortunately use money in an evil way.
Yeah, that's true.
And I have a series of Ikeisms, and one of them that I've repeated numerous times is that money cannot buy happiness, but it can help you buy all of the things to make you happy.
Okay. Fine nuance there, yeah.
And there is more, folks, but we're going to talk about that after our brief break. We'll be right back with a most talented guy that I have in my circle of friends. And
you need to get out more.
John Zwinkowski. Don't go away. We will be right back. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Hi, Ike Engelbaum. I am really excited about a new sponsor, and that is Memory Health. These are vitamin capsules that you take 3 a day, and it improves your memory. Memory Health has been proven to be scientifically helpful for early stages of Alzheimer's. In fact, it has been claimed that it can even forestall Alzheimer's. Dr. Joel Kahn made this statement: in my more than 30 years of practicing medicine, no other product has ever come close to truly supporting brain health like Memory Health. It's a safe, natural supplement. If you need any more information, call 888-489-8980, 888-489-8980. And we're on. And hopefully you're on, so that way we can talk to one another. We just have a few minutes left in our current segment of the Entrepreneurs Network. But if you have a thought on what you found helped you, you're welcome to call in while we're on the air, which is 248-557-3300. When we're off the air, a magic number is 888-489-8980, and I welcome your calls because it gives me an understanding of how I can be of help. And I'll tell you, there's a key of happiness to life and business and what have you, is that if you can find something that you really enjoy doing and you have the talent for it, you have the most wonderful life that you could ask for. The truth of it is, I've been very fortunate. I'm a pharmacist, and I really enjoyed being able to help people stay healthy. And the wonderful thing about the whole aspect of any sort of an entrepreneurial venture is, as has best been said, you can do well doing good. I have John Zwinkowski in studio, who is a true entrepreneur who loves to write and has actually made a career out of it. Tell me, John, if someone wants to get into the writing business, do you have any references as to who they can call?
Oh, sure. There's once again, online there are tons of resources. A basic text that I think anybody would turn to just to write itself is called Save the Cat. I don't recall the author's name, but he's been teaching writing, and he's quite a successful author himself. But Save the Cat, he wrote it originally for screenwriting. It's called Save the Cat for Screenwriters. But then a woman came by, another writer, and she's also a successful author, and she wrote just Save the Cat for Novelists. And I would suggest anybody, if you want to write online, if you're doing a blog or anything, at least take a look at those. They're just wonderful reads, and there are many, many books on editing. Be sure to edit what you write also. I wrote, a 350-page book in this last year, but I listened to the editing book all over again and went back in and revamped all of that, and you make it so much better. Simple things like, you control in a Word program, you control for ly, so that way you'll find all of your adverbs. And if you go where your adverbs are, and if you use an adverb to describe a verb, maybe what you need to do is get a more dynamic verb than using the adverb. You said he went really fast. Well, cut out the really and just say he scampered or he sprinted, It's just much better. Simple things like that are much better writing. And there's a thing called the Great Courses, too, that you can, I think it's like $100 for the year, and you can take all these great courses. And I took 2 courses on writing, and I took a course on editing, and I was amazed at how much they coincided with the principles in Save the Cat, and so many. I mean, Writer's Digest magazine out of Cincinnati, you really need to subscribe to that. It's only like $20 a year or something like that. And wonderful tips and resources in that as well for anybody who wants to be a writer. Even if you're just doing a blog, my gosh, there's too many people out there writing. You can write for a group called Medium. And people subscribe to Medium. I do myself. You pay $30 for the year. Millions of people subscribe. I get articles every morning on all kind of topics. I can say, I'm interested in these 5 topics, whatever they are. And then I'll just get articles on those topics. But I'll get the ones that most people have listened to. And those people who wrote those, they'll get a little bit of my $30 every month. They say, okay, well, you had 3,000 people read your article. Here's a little bit of that of the $30 we're getting from these millions of people who are readers. There are all kinds of ways to make pretty good money writing, but I would say hone your writing. There are too many good writers out there. You've got to be pretty good at it, and it doesn't take that much. Anybody can learn that. Anybody. It's not a natural skill.
Well, that's a wonderful thing that we have today that we never really had before all the technology that exists, and that is that whatever you want to learn, you can do at your own pace. So in the old days, it was either you went into a school or some sort of an academy, and it was the old-fashioned way. Now, the whole world's available to you literally at your fingertips.
And you don't have to write for other companies. You can write. There's a fellow named Ike Osborne. He writes. He started his own website. He's quite a successful copywriter. But he said, just for fun, I'm really interested in coffee. So he wrote a website, just a blog on coffee, everything to do with coffee makers, and what's good about them, what's not, espresso machines, different kinds of coffee from Colombia, from Eastern Africa. And he said, well, it's not a big deal, but I bring about $3,000 to $4,000 extra in a month because people say, oh, you've got this many 100,000 people who read your blog every week. Well, could we put an ad on there? And they go, yeah, we can do that. So he has only 2 ads, and he said every once in a while I'll mention something on there, and that's where the affiliate marketing. I'll say, well, this is a really good a Keurig machine. Try it. Here's a good one here. And you just mention it. Not trying to sell it, just that this has worked for me. And all of a sudden, and he has a little affiliate connection with the Keurig company. So every time somebody buys a Keurig because of him, he gets a little cut from that, maybe $2 or $3. But he said, but if you got 10,000 people buying it because they read my blog, well, that can add up, and that's where the $3,000 to $4,000 a month comes in. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I'll tell you, there are so many things out there that people don't know, and that's the wonderful thing about our Entrepreneurs Network. Is we have over 20,000 members, and I strongly encourage you, if you're an entrepreneur or wannabe entrepreneur, join up even with a non-profit service group, because you're exposed to that many more people that you'll many times learn a lot from, like the Rotary Club and the Optimist Club. In fact, I belong to the Optimist Club in West Bloomfield, and if anyone is listening and wants to come to our meeting, by all means, we'll pick up the tab for your meal. And if you want to be just a friend of the Optimist Club, it's only $100 a year. So if anyone's interested, and they don't have to drive out to West Bloomfield, there's an Optimist or Rotary Club chapter all around the world. There are over 1.2 million people in each organization. So you can learn from people who are successful now or are retired and are willing to share with you their thoughts and what have you.
And probably upbeat, I would imagine, based on the title of the group, you know.
Right. Well, the nice thing about it, too, is that, we have caps and also T-shirts and stuff with the name on. And I've had so much fun, I'll put on, let's say, a cap with a Rotary Club logo on it. And I'll have complete strangers, oh, Rotary, I used to belong to the Rotary. All of a sudden, instant friendship over a hat. So that way you can work your way to the top.
Yeah. Wearing the right hat, yeah. Well, you do wear many hats, I'll give you that.
Right. Well, if anyone is interested in being in touch with John or with myself, and you've got sort of an idea that's not quite fully baked, we'll help you in the baking process. And I really get such a joy when people call and I can help them. And can't urge you strongly enough, especially when we're making all these resolutions for the new year. One you should write down and practice and actually do is to find a way that you can help another human being. There's a great little poem written on success, and it basically starts out with success is to be able to grow a garden to make the world a little more beautiful than when you arrived, and to learn from suggestions of true friends, to avoid the slings and arrows of false friends. But above all, if you can help another human being breathe easier because you have lived, that's success.
That's not bad. Not bad.
I unfortunately run out of time for today, but I don't want to leave without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.